Hi all, a very good morning to all of you. So this is the topic of digital image processing and this is part 3 and I'll be covering all the important MCQ questions. Okay, so let's start with the part 3. So number 1 question is, what is the method that is used to generate a processed image that have a specified histogram? What is the method which we use for the purpose of generating a processed image that have a specified histogram? So our options are, option A is histogram linearization, option B is histogram equalization, option C is histogram matching, and option D is histogram processing. So the right answer will be C, which is histogram matching. We use the histogram matching for generating a processed image, and that image will have a specified histogram also. Next question. Histograms are the basis for numerous spatial domain processing techniques. Our options are, we use histogram for the purpose of numerous spatial domain processing techniques. Our options are A, true, and B, false. Yes, we use histograms for the purpose of spatial domain processing techniques. Okay, as you can see in the previous questions, we are using the histogram for generating a processing image and that have a specified program. That process is called as histogram matching, and that's why we also use it for the numerous spatial domain processing techniques. Next question. In a dark image, the components of histogram are concentrated on which side of the grayscale? Our options are A, high, B, medium, C, low, D, evenly distributed. In a dark image, the component of histogram are concentrated on which side of the grayscale? In dark image, the components of histogram are concentrated on low side of the grayscale because it is dark. Which of the following is the primary objective of sharpening of an image? Our options are A, blurring the image, B, highlight fine details in the image, C, increase the brightness of the image, D, decrease the brightness of the image. So the right answer is B, which is highlight fine details in the image. Next question. Image sharpening process is used in electronic printing. Our options are A, true, and B, false. So image sharpening process is used in electronic printing, and this is the right answer. We use the image sharpening process in electronic printing. Next question. In spatial domain, which of the following operation is done on the pixel in sharpening the image? So in spatial domain cases, when we are performing the filtering process, we need to perform an operation for the purpose of sharpening. And our options are integration, B, average, C, median, and D, differentiation. And the thing which we use for the sharpening is differentiation. We perform differentiation. Image differentiation enhances the edges, discontinuities, and de-emphasize the pixels with slow varying gray levels. Image differentiation enhances the edges, discontinuities, and emphasizes the pixel with slow varying gray levels. So this is completely a correct statement. This is the role of image differentiation when we perform the differentiation on our images. It will enhance edges, remove discontinuities, and de-emphasize our pixels with slow varying gray levels. In which of the following cases we wouldn't worry about the behavior of sharpening filter? Flat segments, step discontinuities, ramp discontinuities, slow varying gray values. So in the last case, slow varying gray values, we don't need to worry about the behavior of sharpening filter because If there is slow varying gray values, it means this is a better thing. It means that image differentiation is performed and it is enhancing the edges, as I was telling you in the last question. Next question. Which of the following is the valid response when we apply a first derivative? Our options are non-zero at flat segments, 0 at the onset of gray level step, 0 in flat segments, 0 along the ramps. Okay, so when we apply a flat first derivative, we are forming the differentiation process a very first time. Okay, so what is the initial condition will be? So the right answer will be 0 in flat segments. When we apply a first derivative for a very first time. Okay, next question. Which of the following is not a valid response when we apply a second derivative? Which of the following is not a valid response? Zero response at onset of gray level step, non-zero response at onset of gray level step, zero response at flat segment, non-zero response along the ramps. So which can't be an answer? Okay, which of the following is not a valid response? So the right answer will be C. The zero response at onset of gray level step. This is the right option. Zero response at flat segments. It will give, if we are forming the second derivative, it will give the zero response at the flat segments. It will give non-zero response along the ramps. If there is some ramps, it means there is some sinusoidal structure, and this kind of structure will be formed. The non-zero response along the ramps. And there will be zero response at onset of gray level steps. So the right answer will be B, non-zero response at onset of gray level step, which is completely a wrong answer. Non-zero response will we only get the non-zero response along the ramps. Next question. If fxy is an image function of two variables, then the first order derivative of a one-dimensional function fx is. Our option A is fx plus 1 minus fx. Option B is fx minus fx plus 1. C is fx minus 1 minus fx plus 1. And the last option is fx plus fx plus 1. So if it is an image function, the first order derivative is fx plus 1 minus fx. This is also one of the very important theorem of the differentiation chapter in our 11th 12th classes. So I think you can easily understand it. Isolated point is also called as noise point. Isolated point is also called as noise point. This is a totally correct answer, that yes, isolated point is also called as a noise point. What is the thickness of the edges produced by first order derivatives when compared to that of the second order derivatives? It means when we are performing the first order derivative and then we perform second order derivative, what is the response with the thickness of edges? So options are A finer, B equal, C thicker, D independent. So it's a basic logic which we use in the concept of digitalizing image, that whenever we are going to find, when we are going to increase the level of differentiation, so the thickness of edges will become more thicker. So the right answer will be thicker. First order derivative can enhance the fine detail in the image compared to that of the second order derivative. No. The right answer will be, if we perform the second order derivative, it means it will enhance the file detail image. Okay. If we are comparing from second order derivative, no. If we are second order derivative will come with some more features. So that's why this is a false statement. Which of the following derivatives produce a double response at step changes in gray level? first order derivative, third order derivative, second order derivative, and first and second order derivative. Which of the following produce a double response at step changes in Gray level? So the right answer will be second order derivative. Which Gray level transformation increase the dynamic range of Gray level in the image? Which Gray level transformation increase the dynamic range of Gray level in the image? The answer is contrast stretching. Why contrast stretching? Contrast stretching is a process in which we are going through a range of intensity values. It is basically an image enhancement technique. Why we use contrast stretching? We are using the contrast stretching for the purpose of image enhancement, in which we are going through a span of values of intensity. We are changing the intensity values. So that's why we are going to the dynamic range of Gray levels in the image. So that's why the right answer will be contrast stretching, because we are going through a dynamic range of Gray level in the image. When is the contrast stretching transformation a linear function for R and S as Gray value of image before and after processing? Just listen to this question very carefully, because this is a very important question. Okay, when is the contrast stretching transformation? It means the contrast stretching transformation will become a linear function. And what is R and S? R and S are the levels or the Gray value of those images before and after processing. They are the Gray values. R and S are the before and after processing. Before processing, it's R and S. Okay. So when it will perform as a linear function. So our options are R1 equal to S1, R and R2 equal to S2. B option is R1 equal to R2, S1 equal to 0, and S2 equal to L minus 1. L is the maximum Gray value allowed. C option is R1 equal to 1 and R2 equal to 0. And D option is none of the mentioned. So see, the question is assuming that contrast stretching transformation will work as a linear function. It means the R will be directly proportional to S. And as you can see, R1 equal to S1 and R2 equal to S2. This will make the process a linear. It means this is showing the option A is showing a linear relationship in the function. So the right answer will be R1 equal to S1 and R2 equal to S2, which give us the linear relationship between the Gray values of the images. When is the contrast stretching transformation is a thresholding function for R and S as a Gray value of image before and after processing respectively. So our options are A, R1 equal to S1 and R2 equal to S2. Option B is R1 equal to R2, S1 equal to 0 and S2 equal to L minus 1, where L is the max Gray value allowed, R1 equal to 1 and R2 equal to 0. D, none of mentioned. So if contrast stretching function is a thresholding function, it means there is something which is a limiting factor. Okay, it means there is something which is on its thresholding factor. Okay, so A can't be a right answer, because we know that if the R1 equal to S1 and R2 equal to S2, it will be a linear function. And R1 equal to 1 and R2 equal to 0, no, there will be no relation of the other Gray level. So the right answer will be R1 equal to R2, S1 equal to 0, which is a thresholding function. Okay, so contrast stretching function transformation, a thresholding function when R1 equal to R2 and S1 equal to 0 and S2 equal to L minus 1. Next question. What condition prevents the intensity artifacts to be created by processing with contrast stretching? What are the conditions which basically prevents those intensity artifacts to be created while processing the process with contrast? It means we are performing the contrast stretching and suddenly intensity artifacts, it means intensity changes, these processes is preventing. Okay, if R and S are Gray values of image before and after processing respectively, so it means there is one condition in all of them, okay, which will prevent the intensity artifacts to be created while the processing. And when we are using the contrast stretching purpose. So as we know that the first option for the linear, second option is for the thresholding function, and this can't be a right option. So the right answer will be if R1 is less than or equal to R2 and S1 is also less than and equal to S2, that will prevent the intensity that depends. Okay, because in first option there is direct relationship between two different gray values. Okay, R1 is directly proportional to S1 and R2 is directly proportional to S2. But if R1 is less than equal to R2 or S1 is less than or equal to S2, then this will create a condition that no intensity artifacts will be created. A contrast stretching result being obtained by setting R1 S1 equal to R minimum comma 0, R2 S2 equal to R max comma L minus 1, where R and S are gray values of image. In this case, R1 is the R minimum and S1 is 0. And then R2 equal to R maximum and S2 equal to L minus 1, which is also a maximum value. Okay. L is the max gray value allowed in Rmax and R minimum, R maximum and minimum gray values in the image. What should we term the transformation function if R1 equal to R2 equal to M, some mean gray value? Our options are A linear function, B thresholding function, C intermediate function, D none of the mentioned. So the right answer for this will be thresholding function. We call this function as a thresholding function because we have R1 which is R minimum. It means it's a thresholding function, and we are also taking R2 S2 as the R max and L minus 1. Okay, so we have few of the thresholding factors. It means after a certain range they will not perform the contrast stretching. Okay, and the process will be stopped. So that's why we are using here the thresholding function. Next question. A specific range of gray levels highlighting is the basic idea of a specific range of gray levels highlighting is the basic idea of A contrast stretching, B bit plane slicing, C thresholding, and D is gray level slicing. As I previously told you that contrast stretching is the process in which we are going through a span of different intensity values, okay, for the purpose of enhancing the image. The second option is bit plane slicing. So what is bit plane slicing? It is a method of representing an image with one or more bits, okay. We are presenting the image with one or more bits of the byte used for each pixel. Okay, we are converting the gray level image to the binary image in the case of bit plane slicing. Okay, and C thresholding, it means we are taking some thresholding factors, a limited factor. Okay, D is gray level slicing. Gray level slicing, what is gray level slicing? It basically manipulates group of intensity levels. It manipulates, it performs some different operations. Okay, and this will perform up to a specific range. So a specific range of gray levels highlighting is the basic idea of gray level slicing. Okay, next question. What are the approaches of the gray level slicing? To give all gray level of a specific range high value and a low value to all other gray levels, to brighten the pixel gray value of interest and preserve the background. All of the mentioned, D none of the mentioned. So what basically gray level slicing perform? That it will manipulate group of intensity level in an image up to a specific range. Exactly. A option is to give all gray level of a specific range high value and a low value to all other gray levels. To brighten the pixel's gray value of interest and preserve the background. Both the options are correct. So right answer will be C, all of the mentioned. Next question. Specific bit contribution in the image highlighting is the basic idea of specific bit contribution in the image highlighting is the basic idea of bit contribution in the image highlighting. So we are highlighting already a word which is bit. Okay, so bit wise mapping we are taking the bit. Okay, so the right answer will be bit plane slice. Next question. Which of the following helps to obtain the number of bits to be used to quantize each pixel? Okay, which of the following helps to obtain the number of bits? Again, it is about number of bits. To quantize each pixel in gray level slicing, we are manipulating the gray levels. In contrast stretching, we are stretching the contrast in sorry by we are stretching the contrast by enhancing the contrast level by enhancing the contrast values. So the right answer will be bit plane slicing. The right answer will be bit plane slicing. Next question. Which of the following in an image can be removed by using smoothing filter? Okay. Which of the following in an image can be removed by using smoothing filter? Option A is smooth transitions of gray levels. Option B is smooth transition of brightness level. Option C is sharp transition of gray levels. Option D is sharp transition of brightness levels. So which of the following can be reduced by using smooth filters? The right answer will be C, sharp transition of gray levels. Okay, so what we are removing using smoothing filter? We are removing we are removing sharp transition of gray levels. So that's all for the day. So this was part 3 and I hope you liked the video, and if you want me to cover more and more videos, so just stay here with me and learn with me, and keep sharing this video with your friends if you want to. If they are also in final student, this will of course help them a lot, and they will be able to prepare a lot of question in small amount of time. It would be great, really. It can really help a lot of person now. Okay then, see you. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.